One of the strangest things found in China on Google Earth, which remains uncensored, is this very accurate scale model of the disputed India-China border. Originally posted to a Google Earth forum by a user named Ken Grok in 2016, the enormous scale model is just over half a mile in length and slightly under half a mile in width. This strange discovery had many asking why such a model would be necessary. Some people have said that the scale model is for wargaming. The area has been in dispute for many years, and in geopolitical slang, it's known as salami slicing, a tactic used to subtly encroach on and take disputed lands, slice by territorial slice. And on this border, in the remote regions of the Himalayas, that's exactly what Chinese authorities have been accused of doing. In July 2020, the dispute escalated when an Indian army patrol tried to take down temporary structures set up by the Chinese military in territory claimed by India. It set off a brutal 6-hour clash. No guns or explosives were used due to a long-standing treaty where both nations agreed that no such weapons will be carried in the area. Instead, soldiers from both sides battled with sticks, stones, and clubs into the early hours of the morning. This resulted in the first conflict-related deaths between the two armies in 45 years. 20 Indian soldiers and an unknown number of Chinese soldiers are said to have lost their lives. The story did take a stranger turn, however. While no guns or explosives were used, it's believed that the Chinese military may have used a new secret weapon. In December 2019, the YouTuber Sandra Elena Andrade posted a video showing a number of strange anomalies she found in Antarctica. One of which was this disc-shaped structure, which looks like it's coming out of the side of a cliff face. The visible area of the disc measures roughly 18.5 meters across and does look very out of place in comparison to its surroundings. At the time, UFO skeptics and enthusiasts were equally interested in what the object could be. The people who thought it could be of alien or ancient civilization origin described it as looking as if it was intelligently designed. It's undeniable that there does appear to be a silver-looking rim which perfectly rounds the edge of the disc shape. But this has still not convinced skeptics, who believe it's either a glitch or just a natural formation. What do you think? Next, we have these strange symbols carved into the Gobi Desert in China, some measuring over a mile in length. A number of news websites say that apparently people have studied them and they concluded that the symbols don't appear to have the characteristics of any kind of language, and at first there didn't seem to be any meaning behind them either. The main theory links them to a military purpose, with the likelihood that they're calibration sites for Chinese spy satellites. The theories explain that if a satellite were to lose its positioning, they would be able to re-establish their location by orienting themselves towards the site, then find and lock onto the calibration spots. It's also assumed that the satellites that used these symbols are no longer operating, since judging by the size of the sites, the satellites would probably have been only capable of low-resolution imaging. Whatever they have now will surely be much more impressive. More interesting than that, though, is this next mysterious sight from northwest China. The etching of what clearly looks like a bird with an area which has been censored on it was originally uploaded to Reddit on January 14th, 2021. The image reminded many of the 2,500-year-old Nazca hummingbird, and it has already been speculated that this too is the work of an ancient culture. Reddit users also noted that the apparent etching is surrounded by what looks like tyre tracks, so the site is known to people, but so far there is nothing to indicate why that smaller area on the etching is blacked out. It's estimated to be roughly 225 meters in length, and the wingspan is around 190 meters. To put that into perspective, a European football pitch is typically around 105 meters long, and an American football field is almost 110 meters from endline to endline. To make things a little stranger, the site is roughly 200 kilometers away from the nearest identified populated location on the map, so it's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. Also, there are actually a number of other odd formations in the area, as well as what is roughly half a mile of grid-like patterns, which could just be the same as those satellite calibration patterns previously mentioned. What do you think these images show? Why would that small area be blacked out? Let us know in the comments. In late February 2020, a video is uploaded to the YouTube channel Finding UFO, which is believed by some to show a number of car parks and entrances to what they think could be underground sections of Nevada's Area 51. These stills are from when the video shows a time-lapse of satellite images, which apparently reveal the same strange features dating as far back as 1998, showing that some of the hillside entrances were in use, and also one area is shown before the entrance was built. In online discussions, it's been pointed out that the area is actually some distance from Area 51. But this has convinced some that it simply means that it's just another facility which may be linked underground. It was also pointed out that a Nevada national security site was also in very close proximity to the entrances, which gave the believers more reason to think they're right. Others who are more skeptical think it's likely to be a mining operation which has no link with the secretive military base at all. What do you think the video shows? Found just off the coast of Antarctica and in close proximity to the dramatically named Deception Island, something strange can be found that looks like it's emerging from the depths of the sea. Judging by the perceived direction of the disturbed water, this strange object even looks like it was moving at the time the image was captured. From what's visible, it measures roughly 44 meters or 144 feet in length. When it was first put online in 2016, some people claimed it was some kind of giant sea creature. When we first looked at it, we thought it could possibly be a military submarine coming to the surface, but the real explanation proved to be much more simple. It turns out that it's just an island rock called Sail Rock, seen here from sea level. What did you think it was at first? It's interesting how the human mind can try and make sense of what it's seeing, sometimes coming to inaccurate conclusions in the process. The Faroe Islands are a North Atlantic archipelago of 18 volcanic islands located 320 kilometers or 200 miles north-northwest of Scotland and about halfway between Norway and Iceland. Like Greenland, these islands are an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark and have a total population just under 50,000. While most of the islands are completely visible, the eastern islands of Fugloy and Zvinoy are blurred out and nobody actually knows for sure why they are hidden. One of the areas is home to an old World War II military base, but since the base is no longer operational, it doesn't really make sense for that to be the reason for the blurring. The area is considered to be an important breeding ground for a few rare bird species, so it's been speculated that the blurring could be a measure to help prevent poachers planning activities on the island, and while that is an explanation, it's not a very convincing one. Sandy Island was said to have been discovered by the British explorer and cartographer Captain James Cook on September 14, 1774, during what was his second voyage into Australasian waters. He charted the discovery as Sandy Eye. The island could be found on maps from the 1800s onwards, and could even be found on Google Maps, although it was censored with a black box, and it was eventually blurred out completely. Now it just appears as a light blue outline. The tiles of satellite and aerial images we see when using Google Maps and Google Earth are sourced from many different providers, which include state agencies, geological survey organisations, and commercial imagery providers, and as far as we can assume, it would be unusual for any such agency to add an island to the region if it wasn't there. But this is what seems to have happened. Some people found the censoring of the location particularly strange, since many world governments make claims to uninhabited islands to use as military bases and do not have them completely removed from Google Maps. Conspiracy theorists wondered if something had happened to the island while it was hidden, and drew parallels to other cases where islands apparently disappeared. One example of this was Bermeja Island. This island was believed to be lying off the north coast of the Yucatan Peninsula and appeared on several maps of the Gulf of Mexico from the 16th to the 20th centuries. Despite being precisely located in relation to neighbouring islands by notable Spanish cartographers of the 16th century, the island could not be located in a 1997 survey, nor in an extensive 2009 study of the area. Some believe it was destroyed due to the right it would give the Mexican government to explore for oil in the region. As for Sandy Island, in 2012 it was officially listed as undiscovered after a research ship led by Dr. Maria Seton could not find anything at the coordinates. During the 25-day scientific expedition to examine the tectonic contours of the Australasian Pacific region, they found ocean depths no shallower than 1,300 meters, where Sandy Island was supposed to be, meaning it was very unlikely Sandy Island ever existed. So what did Captain Cook really see? And why did the satellite imaging agencies that supplied Google Earth show anything at all?